So I've just recently installed this dishwasher in our kitchen, and you've just seen those videos in the past week. There's only one issue left to tackle in this kitchen, and that's the lighting. Hey everybody, I'm Bill with Live Simple, Live Free. 3 problems in this kitchen with the lighting. One of them I've already taken care of about a year ago. I think I did a video about that, but let me show you what that was. So this is the door from the main part of the house, from the hallway here into the kitchen. And notice there's no light switch here anywhere. So at night, if the light isn't on, you come out of the house into the kitchen and you would have to walk all the way over to the doorway right there to turn on the light. And then at night you'd have to turn it off over here and then walk across in the dark. That was not workable. I could have put a switch in here retroactively. I'd have to run the wire underneath and up through the wall and all that. I could have done that. I've done that many times, but instead I got a brilliant idea and I just put in this motion sensor switch. So now as soon as you walk in that door, the light comes on. And then about, I don't know, 3 minutes or so after you leave, it goes out again. Problem solved. We really like it like that. But there are 2 other problems. One is the light switch, or the light fixture up there. It's bright because the light's on, you can't see it, but there's only one light bulb up in there, and it's limited to 60 watts, and then it had this globe on it. It made it so dim you couldn't even see anything in here. So I took the globe off to help a little bit. Now we got that 160 watt bulb. Actually, it's now an LED, which is like, I don't know, 11 watts or something, but it's equivalent to a 60. But it's still not very bright in here. So I have another light fixture that's going to be 1300 lumens that I'm going to install up in there. That's the second problem. So up until now, the only light we've had in the kitchen is this one ceiling light, which is way too dim. And then there was a light above the stove right there. That's considerably brighter. If it wasn't for that, we couldn't see anything at all. But I'm going to fix that. The third problem, and I'm going to take care of this first, is that above the sink, there's no light up here anywhere. I'm sorry, the window is kind of bright. It's hard to see. But there's no light up there. So when you're standing at the sink and that dim light fixture is behind you, and your body is making a shadow, it's very dark here. So what I want to do is put in another light up there somewhere, and the power is over here. So I've been thinking for a while about how to cut through, put the wire behind the wall, put a switch here somewhere, run it up there and put a permanent light up there. Now I'm fully aware that there are some more high-tech solutions, battery lights that have motion activation, like the motion activator I got over there, but I could put them up here. But those work great until they don't. Also, battery lights, you have to either replace the batteries or charge them all the time. If that was the only option, I would go with that, but I'd rather have something a little bit more permanent. So here's what I came up with. A hanging light that simply plugs in, just like that, with a plug. It's going to work very well. So I can just hang the light from up there above the sink, bring the wire down, right down in that corner, and then plug it in right there. And then there's an inline switch that would be right down here that I can just turn the light on. And this is a ground fault receptacle, so having that switch near the sink, near the water, isn't really a problem, because if there's any kind of a shock, the ground fault will turn off. So it's going to be the fastest and easiest solution. I think it's going to work well. Okay, now this is in, it's plugged in and it's working. You can see that. But in the bright sunshine, with the sun shining through the window, you can't even tell it's on. So I'll have to check again this evening and see how it looks. I think this is going to be good. Okay, so now I got this installed. This light is working properly, but I don't like the situation I have here at all. I got all this extra wire. I just got it wired up into a bundle. And then this switch, I don't like this. This is a dimmer switch, and you have to twist it, and it's real awkward to turn on. It doesn't work. So I thought I would go to the store and buy another inline switch like this, but one that has a toggle switch that you can just turn it off and on. I don't need the dimmer, just a toggle switch off and on. Then I could eliminate all of this, cut the wire, put that new switch in, and that should take care of it. And then I was going to attach the switch here and put a staple there and there to hold it in place. But I went to the store and I went to 2 different hardware stores, and I couldn't find a switch like this that was big enough. The only thing I could find inline switch was this tiny little thing that had a barrel that you had to turn. It was awkward. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I came up with a new idea. I like this much better. I'm going to actually take this wire up here and put a hole in the cabinet and run it down inside the cabinet. And then I have this shallow electrical box that I'm going to put right here with a regular switch, regular house type switch right here. And so it'll be mounted permanently right there. And then the wire, of course, will still be inside the cabinet, so I can run it through the cabinet over to here and then down the wall. So you won't see much of the wire. You only see a little bit up there and a little bit down here. I think that's going to work really well. Now, some of you might say, well, that's kind of like an amateurish, Harry homeowner electrical hack, because I'm using basically an extension cord here instead of Romex wire that I should be using for something like this. But I disagree, because this is the wire that actually came with the light. It's designed to go with that light. I just don't like the switch. So all I'm doing is replacing this switch with this switch. That's it. And of course, this switch goes inside of a box. So I think it's going to work perfectly fine. It'll be strong. It'll be stable. It'll be easy to turn the light off and on. I like it. So I need to put the box here. Make sure it's high enough above the bottom here that it's not going to run into anything. Okay. All right, that's good solid 1/2-inch plywood. That's not like thin fiberboard like they make nowadays. Back in the 50s, they made it with real wood. So that's going to work very well. Like that. Okay, so now you can see the inside of the box, which doesn't stick out into the cabinet too far because it's a shallow box. And this was full of glasses and mugs. Obviously, I've removed them all. Now I'm going to just drill a hole up through there, run the wire down through the corner and in like that. That's an old security system that doesn't work anymore. Okay, so the last thing to do for this kitchen lighting project is to replace this ceiling light right here. Like I said earlier, you can only put one 60-watt light bulb in there and it just isn't anywhere near enough. So I'm going to be replacing it with this. Now this is an LED light and it's not replaceable light bulb. The whole thing is just built right in. It's supposed to last 20 years or something. This is 1500 lumens brightness, which is about twice as bright as that 60-watt at least. Also, what I really like about this one is that you can adjust the color all the way from soft white all the way up to cool daylight and anything in between. So one of the problems I have with LED lights is they come in different colors. Sometimes you'll have all one color and then you get one that's radically different and it just doesn't look right. I've never seen one that's adjustable like this, so that's kind of cool. I just got this at Lowe's. I just walked into Lowe's and picked it up. So let's see how this works. Now normally when I do a light like this, I just turn it off at the switch and that turns off the power. But because this is a motion sensor switch, I kept turning it off and it kept coming back on again because of the motion sensing. So I had to actually go into the electrical panel and turn off the whole circuit, which is probably the better way to do it anyway. Okay, before I fasten it up, I wanted to turn it on, make sure it was working, and it is. Now there's a thing on the back here to adjust the color. Soft white. Can't read those. Warm white, cool white, daylight, cool daylight. Yeah, that's way too harsh. Soft light, soft white, warm white, cool white. I think I'll go with cool white. Let me go turn it off again. Well, this is really awkward. I'm supposed to put that up on there and then twist it. But you're blind when you put it in there. You can't see it. There it is. Okay. Now, of course, it's still bright daylight coming in, so you can't really tell, but that is considerably brighter. You can see the difference in color between that one and this one. I can adjust that more soft white, which becomes more yellowish like that. I'll just have to look at it at night and see what we think and see how it compares with the color of that one that we just put in. But for now, success. See how much brighter this is at night.
Whew. Oh, wow, this is so much better, hon.
Yep.
Yes. And it's all lit up brightly now. The fact that we have these silver gray walls and stuff, it's just so much brighter and easier to see in here. Let me try this one. There's the switch. Oh yeah, look at this. I can really see. And of course, we went to this goes on. All right, now that is a nice bright kitchen for working on at night. This first time we tried it at night. Thanks, hon.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I did adjust the color back one notch toward a little bit more yellow because it was kind of harsh white.
Oh,
So
I like it.
now it kind of matches that a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So is this going to work?
Yes, oh my goodness. It's so wonderful to not have it feel sort of dim in here at night.
Yep.
And to have it lit right over the sink. We haven't had that in ages. So, I mean, we've never had it here. So, great, hon. Good, thank you. Whew.
Now the last part of this lighting project is actually not out in the kitchen, but it's out here on the porch. You see the porch has this fan here, and the fan works, but for some reason the light does not. I've taken the thing apart several times to try to get it to work, and I just can't get it to work, and I honestly don't know why. But truth is, you see this fan is totally delaminating. It's been out here for a long time, so it's time to replace the fan anyway. And now we do have one light out here. This is our security camera here that covers the whole porch, anybody that comes up and approaches the door. And there are lights right here that are motion sensors, so the light comes on when people come up, but it doesn't actually come on until they come inside the door, inside the porch. So that means they come up from the driveway and they come up this ramp or up these steps in the darkness, and the light doesn't come on until they come inside the door. So I want to have a light here, obviously, that I can just turn on when we expect to have company, so they have nice light to see the steps and all of that. So I got another light just like the one that I put in the kitchen, but it's a little smaller. It's a little smaller in diameter, and instead of 1500 lumens, it's only 1300 lumens, which is probably still going to be brighter than I need here. But anyway, and this one says approved for use in damp locations. So here underneath the porch, it's not going to actually get rained on, but it'll be fine here. I decided to just put this light here instead of replacing it with another fan, because quite frankly, I don't really understand the purpose of a fan out here on the porch. If you want to sit out here and it's really hot and you got the fan on, personally, if it's hot enough that I need that fan, I'm going to go inside in the air conditioning. So I would never use a fan here. So it's a lot cheaper and easier just to replace it with a light. Wow, that's really tight. Every fan has a different kind of a mounting system, and they can be sometimes pretty difficult to figure out how to do that. When you're putting them up, you're following the directions, but when you're taking them down and you can't see what's up inside, it can be pretty difficult. These fans are very heavy, and they typically have a hook like this where you can hook the fan there to hold the weight while you do the wiring. think I'm done here. Yipper. Looks good. It's very sleek.
Yes.
Yeah.
That just looks very nice. Oh yeah.
So we'll have to wait until nighttime to see. It's probably overly bright. It's probably too bright. But
There may be times when we'd be very glad to be able to be out here with a good light.
yeah, we can sit out here and read.
Well, it also just looks nice and neat and clean looking.
Yeah, compared to that old fan that was all
Coming apart.
delaminated and drooping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks really nice.
it looked like a palm tree after a hurricane.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah,
That looks good.
I'm happy with that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, so what do you think here, dear one?
This is nice.
Yeah.
If we had a table out here, we could sit out here with some friends and play cards or something.
Yeah, you know, before the only thing we had was this, which is the camera light that's motion sensor, but it wasn't all that bright. And sitting out here at night, we were mostly just sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
But now with this thing, like she said, eventually we want to try to get some permanent, instead of lawn chairs, permanent wrought iron furniture out here with a table and stuff like that. So yeah, we could sit out here with friends at night and play cards or read a book or something like that. In this beautiful screened-in porch, keep all the mosquitoes away. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I absolutely love this porch.
And now they won't
man.
be tripping coming up the steps until they get in here and turn that light on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, in fact, this lights it up really nicely
yeah,
out
like
there.
all the way out past the ramp.
That's a good safety feature.
This
And
is
it looks neat and clean. It's cool.
now these lighting projects were not something that was on my list, but I just realized that we've been squinting trying to see, you know, for 2 years, and it's just time to get it done.
Yeah.
So I think adding the dishwasher in the last couple of videos that we did, and then the lighting here in the kitchen has completely changed the whole functionality of the kitchen.
Oh goodness, yes.
Yeah.
I was just wishing we had tried to really film in there when it was nothing but just the old light, because it was such a. All of a sudden, it felt kind of gray and dim, and now things brighten up and it looks more silvery, and you can see all the pops of color from all the Pioneer Woman things.
Right.
And I like, especially in a kitchen at night, I like to be able to just really see what I'm doing. And so yeah, this is great. Thanks, hon.
Yep. So we've seen the light. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Yeah, we love you guys, and we will see you soon.
All right.
And see you better.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.